Do you know what's going on up here? This mind is a hamster trap. And then the second part is my thoughts are warped.
Hello and welcome to Guidance and Recovery with your host, Keegan. Today we're speaking to Hilary Momberger-Powers as she talks to us about how once we cross that line into addiction, we're never really quite the same. She emphasizes that our minds are warped and we have to be able to take a good, hard look at ourselves to really make any change in the long run. So stick around, find out how she helps other people, and figure out if you need to work on your step one. What's one myth you like to bust whenever it comes to recovery?
Gosh, one myth I would love to bust is I'm recovered.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a slippery thing. It's, and I come from, I'm coming from passion with the experience because I thought I had this, in our literature, it talks about getting recovered from a seemingly hopeless mind and body, but it's only half of it. I can stop getting high or drinking or using whatever your flavor is. It doesn't matter. I mean, someone said to me, what did you get loaded on? I said, what did you have? I mean, it's like I'm an equal opportunist, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, I didn't care. I just wanted another spirit in me because mine was pretty broken, and I found drugs and alcohol because it made me feel like I wasn't that girl that I hated so much.
Oof.
All of a sudden it was like, because I hear people, they talk in their story, they say, and then I found drugs and alcohol and it was amazing. And I'm like, no, dude, I found drugs and alcohol and I felt finally I got away from Hilary.
Yeah.
That was it. Because there was just, so much. But back to your original question, that word is I'm recovered. Today I go, well, good for you. I say, hi, my name is Hilary. I have alcoholism, not wasm.
Ooh.
Because I think I'm recovered. I no longer need this thing. My life's got really good. All of a sudden, I'm like not getting high. I'm showering. I'm stabilizing myself. I get a job. I'm in a community. Before it was like I was a loner. I hated myself. I was getting high, in the closet. Why? There's no one there.
Wow.
Who am I hiding from? Right? Hilary.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, I get immersed in this and I feel productive. And, in our literature, it also talks about our ego has to be smashed in the beginning because there becomes my foundation to build a new character without reference from the old character.
Yeah.
That's what the steps do. It takes me away from that old character and I build a new one slowly.
Yeah.
Well, when I start getting better and I'm recovered and I got some money in my pocket and I got the guy or you got the girl or you're feeling good, you got a new car, you got new clothes. My ego is rebuilding itself like that.
Yeah.
My ego says, I got this. I'm not sick anymore. Look at me. I got a house.
Yeah.
I got a girl. I got a guy. I got money in my pocket. I got my teeth. I got new teeth. All of a sudden, I got a haircut. And then it says I'm healed.
Yeah. Oof.
Because my mind powered disease says I'm okay. So I encourage people I work with they're not allowed to say, I know, because then your mind closes. And I don't want you saying you're recovered because your mind is really sneaky and it's going to tell you don't need this anymore. So that's my thing. It's like, I'd rather say I have alcoholism, not wasm.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Forever. Here I am.
Thank you for helping bust that myth because it's one of those that I've always heard some people be like, well, I don't do it anymore, so it means that I'm better. And it's like, no, not necessarily, because we really do have to understand what drove us to that point,
Right.
And I mean, it's one of the things that you said in there about the whole you would do whatever, you were an equal opportunist whenever it came to substances. I'm right there with you, but like alcohol was my thing. And it was very much like someone asked before, like, what was your biggest trigger? And I was like, breathing.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But
Right.
you said something that really hit me, and it was that you wanted another spirit inside of you because you were done dealing with Hillary as you knew
Yeah.
her. So, like, did that have anything to do with the whole voicing Sally Brown or like childhood experience being an actor of sorts?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a copulation. I think we all want a new spirit when we don't like the person that we've become.
Yeah.
And being able to, for me, it was very clear. I grew up in this house where, when
Mm.
you're born, you only have two fears: loud noises and not getting fed.
Oof.
That's
Yeah.
why I hear something loud. The infant screams, the mother does it. It screams to be, and that's that terror shriek.
Mm.
And then everything after that is given to me. Now,
Huh.
when you're raised with alcoholic parents,
Mm-hmm.
you're raised in a ism family. There
Mm.
was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of, cheating and lying and screaming and loud. It was just so chaotic growing up in this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 60s, that was a little taboo.
Yeah.
They still had Leave It to Beaver happening.
Mm.
But, here I had this mother who was a total stone drunk, had 7 kids, never wanted any. Little
Man.
oxymoron. But she was an alcoholic, and women don't take care of themselves, and they think this will fix me, and this kid will take care of me, and that'll make me happy. Because
Mm.
she's sick, and her ego's not satisfied, so she needs more and more and more. She has more kids, more money, more fights, more, just gimme, gimme, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
So as a young child, my mother said, we're going to Hollywood and you're going to become famous. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. All I know is I'm 5 and 6 years old, and I just want to go play with my friends.
Yeah.
And she wishes me to Hollywood, and I just look like, I look like Shirley Temple. And I was that cute little kid that was bubbly and happy. Happy. I was happy, joyous, and free as a child.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I get mom's fear, and you got to get this commercial. If you don't get it, your brothers and sisters are going to starve. And if I didn't get it, I'd get beaten. And if I didn't get it, I was told that I was nothing without her. So, and she's a narcissist. If you know anything about them, they're, that's like an alcoholic on crack.
Yeah.
A narcissist, it's like tenfold. I mean, we're selfish and self-centered, but then you add like 10% up. So I was raised around this mother. So I immediately started to no longer be this little kid. I jumped into the fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
That live or die, good, bad, duality. Good girl, bad girl, pretty, ugly, fat, skinny, all these, I gotta. So I jumped from this calmness into my survival mode.
Oh, man.
And I never got out of it until years of my sobriety.
Oh.
Because I was still reacting in that. I gotta be good. I gotta be number one. So when you jump and you get triggered and you get into that trauma response, mine went into, I'm going to be a people pleaser. I want to do everything to make sure my outsides are safe so I can feel okay inside. We're talking about, Chuck C wrote a book, New Pair of Glasses. We have to see life differently. I needed to turn my funnel around, and I wasn't able to do that until I had some real long stabilizing. So I could really look at my life and go, wow, I really am the creator of my madness.
Oof.
Wow, it did. When he says, did you not indeed set the ball rolling? I can really say I set 90% of my problems on fire.
Oof.
I did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I learned to stabilize, but even as a kid, that I'm not enough, we look at our fear list. It says, what's the fear? I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'll never get. That became the fear drove me.
Man.
So I called out my original wound, you know, and we say in AA, driven by 100 forms of fear. It's scary to go deep down in your basement and look at your old stuff. It hurts too much. I don't want to go back there. I want to run from it. I want to go. But unfortunately, those original wounds are the ones that are making all my choices today.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So when I found drugs and alcohol, I was no longer the people pleaser. Then I moved into the other characteristic of trauma, which is I'm a loner. I'm going to get high. You know, I'm going to run away from home. That's a loner response. I'm out of here. I can't deal with you. You. And then I switched to the control side, which is nobody's going to hurt me. I'm going to hurt you first.
Ooh. Ouch.
There's the bully in school.
Okay. Yeah.
So I go from people pleaser to loner to controller. And then I found drugs and I thought, I'm none of those things anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's what I chase. I'm chasing to be more of what I am not.
Okay. So real quick on that end, you know how it's like some people say that they loved the drinking or whatever because it took away their inhibitions. They were like, oh, I don't have to worry about the fears that I have holding me back from being who I really am. Did you have that kind of thought? Because you were kind of saying that you were someone completely different, right?
100%. Yes. I took on a new spirit.
Interesting.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, see, if I can own that, I can change.
Yeah.
If I keep making it, oh, it's the drug that did it. No, dude, I did it. I did it. I did it. Because, you know, my sponsor always said, if you can't take 100% responsibility, how can you take any responsibility for having a good life?
Yeah. Ooh.
How can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is going to take the responsibility of your good life?
But I want to take that too. I don't want the other. No, it's the drug's fault, but I did this. So when I find myself trying to take responsibility for having success, but I'm not owning that I set the ball rolling. I'm the one who said yes. Even I know, Keaton, this is a really hot subject and I get flack for this, but I'm ready to have it. I was raped 3 times.
Oof.
I take responsibility for all 3 of them.
That's hard to say.
Because if I become a victim and say it wasn't my fault, I never can heal. Because I'm always separating myself from my brothers and sisters. But if I can say, what was I wearing those clothes? Why was I hanging out there? Why was I loaded? Why did I place myself in a position to be hurt? Because most of the time. But if I can own it, I can shift.
Okay.
If I'm denying it, whatever I resist persists.
Yep.
So I will keep creating the same thing until I say, Uncle, it's my fault.
Damn.
That's what an inventory does.
Yeah.
It makes me look at who I am as a character. Who am I?
Yeah.
You know, I love when people say, and I say a lot of people go, that's not me. I'm not like that. I'm like, girl, hell no, girl. You are. That is you. You did it. I normally don't yell at people like that. You just did.
Yeah.
I'm not a mean woman. You're a.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Look at your actions. Because isn't that what it is? It's my actions are my character, not my thoughts.
Yeah.
My thoughts are, you know, I have alcoholism. In the first step, it says glass in hand in the 12 and 12 and page, I think it's 20, whatever. I'm not the best with that, but it says glass in hand. I've warped my mind.
Yeah.
So I had to look up what the word warped means.
Ooh.
It means deformed.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me all I have to do is hold the glass.
Mm.
How many times did you get the guy's number who you were going to cop dope from? And you're like, ooh, I feel good. 5 o'clock. I got it. I don't
Yeah.
even have to have it in my system.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So if I look at glass in hand, I've
Mhm.
warped my mind. If you take a piece of wood and you
Mhm.
throw it into a lake
Mhm.
and let it sit there, what happens to the wood?
It gets all wet and absorby.
And right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Does it
Yep.
ever go back to normal?
No, not really. It can dry out, but it's always going to maintain that weird shape that it got.
Bingo, there's my mind. There, I crossed over that invisible line. That means I'm no longer a straight piece of wood. Now I'm warped. So all my thinking, all my thoughts are
Mhm.
warped.
Oof.
And then I have all these memories of being hurt, being disappointed, my sadness, my mom, my dad, the school, the bully, the losing the money. My mom took all my money. She sent me to juvenile hall. I went to foster homes. I lived on the streets. I'm selling my body. I'm selling dope on the corner.
Mm.
And I got all these up here. This is where I'm making all my decisions. The same place all this hurt is, all these memories, all this sadness, all this pain.
Yeah.
But I've already learned how to pull. Remember, it says our alcoholism, we're cunning, baffling, and powerful.
Mhm.
You don't know who I'm going to be. I'm so nice to you. And oh my God, how you doing? I'm great. Oh, I heard your parents are in jail. Oh, it's okay. I'm all right.
Mm.
Because I wore this mask to protect my hurt brain, my
Yeah.
hurt mind.
Yeah. And then that sucks.
Yeah, you're so cute. Well, this is who I am. Now
Yeah.
this is my character. And then you tell me to go out and get a job and have a great life and have kids and family and just do the American thing. I'm like, dude, do you know what's going on up here? This mind is a hamster trap.
Yeah, it's FUBAR.
Yeah, it's over. Same thoughts over and over and over. And then you tell me to say I'm recovered? Hell.
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing I'm not doing is I'm not sticking the drug in me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that is a step in the right direction. But like you said, it's that wood is always going to be a little bit warped. And
Always, always, forever, never, never again.
Yeah. It's really strange that you brought that up, though, because I've had this in my head before and I haven't had someone else kind of bring it up to where it's like just calling someone or like having it around would kind of solve that problem. But whenever I started getting sick or like, getting the shakes and be
Dope
like, oh,
sick, yeah.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I walked into the liquor store and I got it in my hand, gone.
Dude, gone.
Yeah, just gone. Not even in not even in me. Just pick up the bottle and it's like, okay.
Well, that's
so
what I
weird.
said. I don't need to get high to get fixed. That's why when I get sober, meaning I'm not putting a drug in me, I start switching my addictions to men, to money, to vaping. Hello.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
To stealing, to lying, to cheating, to making money, to stealing money, to accumulating, thrift shopping. I don't give a because my disease, it doesn't want to stabilize. It still wants to run the show. And it doesn't do it forever. It just does it in the day I'm in.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I love that.
So what do I need? I need to get a really big relationship with this power other than Hilary, because my power comes from my hurt mind, my anger, my resentments. I need to tap into this power to be with me, not just in the morning and say, I did my prayers. I did step 1, 2, and 3. I can't. He can. I'm going to let him. Dude, if that was it, why are you going to, why are you going to therapy or AA?
Yeah, good point.
I need to tap into this power I call God all day long.
Yeah.
Because I think with my warped mind all day mom. So I say things like, God, my mind is telling me I should just blow their house up. Can you help me with that thought? Do you think that's because my mind says it's a great idea?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. Don't call him, scratch his car, blow. I don't care what you do, whatever, if you're a girl or a guy, go cheat on her, find a new woman,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All my information's in this mind that I keep using. I got to get a power other than me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard whenever you don't know anything else, and it sounds like a lot of the childhood wounds, like you said, were kind of driving the show. And
100%.
it's really hard to kind of picture life, what it's like without those wounds. So you had to start thinking, but not thinking, right?
Mm-hmm. But I love the saying, I'm like, my girlfriend say, Hilary, you're not thinking, you're being thunk right now.
Being thunk, huh?
Yeah, it's my mind's doing it to me. I'm like, I was thinking. No, you weren't. You were being thunk. It was telling you what to think, what to feel, who to do, what to act. Yeah. But see, I also, because my alcoholism, a part of the characteristic is, there's two huge characteristics of alcoholism. I'm omnipotent. I think I'm God. I'm like, I'm the judge, the jury. I'm going to let you know how bad you are because I know. I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I have my girls say, you can't say I know anymore. And then the other component is I'm defiant.
Okay.
I'm so defiant, meaning I'm defying the truth.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm different. Yeah, not me. So I have these major characteristics. What's that old saying? You know how you say he's a bad character? Why? Because he's defiant and he thinks he's God. That's me. That's me. But that's my disease trying to protect itself so I don't leave it.
Yeah.
And underneath that, there's other things like I'm always in a hurry. Queen Majesty the baby. I'm like the 5-year-old in Walmart that has the tantrum. I mean, it's cute at 2 and 3, but not when you're in your 60s. Not hot. Okay. But my mind wants to go there because that's my first defense.
Yeah.
Not against the first drink. It's my first defense to stay up here.
Okay.
And then, so if I look at in a hurry, fault finder by nature, I can find something wrong in anything.
Yeah, I
can pick it apart. I can let you know what's wrong with you. And then I do it. Oh, I'm just trying to, it's constructive criticism. No, it's mean. It's mean because I'm trying to make you feel bad. So what? I feel better.
Yeah. Oof.
So if I look at that, I'm in a hurry. I want to get better right now, right now, right now. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like the kid wanting to go to the park. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I want that with my sobriety too.
Yeah.
But it's called slow sobriety.
Ooh, slow sobriety. I don't know how
to. I don't want to slow down.
Huh.
I want to be better now. Now.
Yeah.
I want it now. That's why when your sponsor says to you, yeah, dude, easy does it. Slow down. You're like, no, I got to get better. I want to get this podcast over here right now, right now, right now. That's alcoholism.
Yeah.
Not wasm. It didn't go away. It's still with you.
Yeah. I mean, you're hitting a really good point right there because a lot of people that are getting into recovery or sobriety of any sorts, it's like if they don't get better, quote unquote, now, then the future may never be better. But it's also like the past isn't going to magically fix itself just because you're 24 hours like sober all of a sudden. How do you help people transform their thought process from like, I've got to get it now to it's coming eventually?
How about one day at a time, one thought at a time, 1 second at a time? That's where it's great to get somebody that you believe that, like, let's say you have a relationship like your sponsor, right?
Mhm.
You have somebody you can talk freely and just say, you know, dude, I was thinking. And of course, they always say, I knew it. I smelled something burning. But I was thinking that I should, they're in rehab. I really need to get my own apartment and that'll make me happy.
Yeah.
And it's learning how to bring someone else in your recovery and your illness.
Mhm. Okay.
Because we just want the recovery side. We have
Mhm.
to expose the disease so it can die in the light.
Yeah. Oof. That makes me think of like an infection of sorts, you know?
If I had a petri dish, right?
Mhm.
And I had the top on it,
Uh-huh.
that's an organism. I need to, in order for me to keep it sick and keep it growing, I have to keep it covered. That's
Mhm.
like my secrets.
Mhm.
Those are my thoughts. What I'm going to do if I don't run it by somebody,
Uh-huh.
you know, but my mind says when I get out of this rehab, dude, I got this. I'm going to have 30 days sober and I'm going to be good. No, you're just going to be 30 days sober and you're just going to start waking up, FYI.
Yep.
But when I expose these thoughts,
Mhm.
it takes the power away.
Interesting.
It's like when I have an idea,
Uh-huh.
I don't want anyone to know because if I expose it, I may take the risk of them saying, what the are you doing? You want to what? Get an apartment? You don't even know how to pay a bill anymore. But I want to be over there. Well, you're not. Let's try to be right here, right now, one day at a time.
Yeah. Oof. I love that. And it kind of reminds me of one of the sayings that we had in the rehab I was at, and it was stay in position. We never know what's coming our way, and we want change very quickly. And sometimes we just can't have it happen that way. It's really hard to go from like being so messed up to getting that little bit of sobriety and still realizing that I'm still messed up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the ego crush. That's how
Hmm.
the ego, that's why it says when we get sober, our ego has to be smashed. Because
Yeah.
what's the job of an ego? It's edging God out, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
So the ego's job is to be God. I'm
Ooh.
amazing. I'm hot. I'm incredible. But unfortunately, when we say an alcoholic is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that
Hmm.
means the flip side is I'm a piece of I hate myself. So
Hmm.
here I am, this pendulum that goes, the mood swings.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Great. 2 hours later, I can't get anything done. So here I am. I'm living on Hilary, my
Hmm.
ego,
Uh-huh.
because I haven't tapped into a power greater than me
Uh-huh.
to slow me down.
Uh-huh.
And remember when I said the characteristic is King Majesty, the baby,
Yeah.
infantile ego?
Hmm.
That's like I have the ego of like an infant.
Hmm.
And what do? I want to be fed. I want to be held. If not, what do? Scream and cry. That's
Oof.
me
Hmm.
as an adult.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
So you stop getting high after
Hmm.
30 days. That's why they call us babies when my sponsor, how many babies do you have? They're talking about we're like infants. We're just learning. We don't even know how to walk.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's really hard to work the 12 steps, you know? And so that's why you need to have a sponsor. You need to have someone that's been through it. It's kind of like you don't go climb Mount Everest all by yourself.
No. Right. True. That's good. That's a good point. Or an oxygen mask. Hello.
Yeah. On that note, real quick, what step is your favorite step if you had to choose one?
I think I talk a lot about the first step because
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the glass in hand. I warped my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's talked about. When I was at my home group in Los Angeles, that's all we talked about is the mind-powered disease.
Huh.
You know, how this is my problem. The drink cured it. It shut it up. It knocked me down. It shut my thoughts down. It made me a different person. I was no longer Hilary.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, when we come in, we think that this is my belief and whatever. It works for me. I'm sober a long time because I really like picking it apart.
Yeah.
It's the first step is, it's like going into the circus. The guy opens the door and says, "Welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous." And he takes my ticket that says, "I'm an alcoholic." And then it says, "We admitted," meaning we all have the same going on, that we were powerless. That means once I start, I can't stop. Drugs and alcohol, let's say alcohol. And there's a dash that means there's more to this sentence. And there's another thought that comes with it. It says that my life is unmanageable. Everyone goes, "Well, yeah, I got a DUI, I got 5150, I got Brady Act. That's not, my wife left, I lost my car, I crashed it." That's not what I'm talking about.
Nuh-uh.
It says my life was unmanageable. My thought life is unmanageable. I can't stop myself from thinking. I can't manage my thoughts. My thoughts are unmanageable.
Yeah.
Because every single decision I made got me the car crash, got me the DUI, got me the 5150, got me to lose my husband, got me to lose my wife, got me to get my kids taken away. Where did it start? In my mind.
Yeah.
So that's really my problem. So it's physically, once I start, I can't stop. The phenomena of a craving keeps happening and happening. And then the second part is my thoughts are warped. So I no longer think normally.
Oof. Yeah.
I'm not normal.
Yeah. And that's hard to come to terms with. I think that's why step one is so hard for a lot of people.
And then I love this. This is my other little thing. I always say, here's a difference between accept and admitting. Okay. We admit.
Okay.
All right. What's admit mean? All right. So you're broke. You can't pay your bills. You could admit you're broke, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what accept means?
To say that I brought this upon myself?
Get a job.
I was about to say that too.
You're working. That tells me you've accepted you're broke because you got a job. I just want to admit it and whine about it. I'm an alcoholic. Everything's bad. I don't know why I can't get a job. And I can't stay sober. It's because the rehab and, they told me if I got high again, I could stay. So I got high. Oh my God. That case so crazy. Yeah. Insurance when it comes to that. But so admitting and accepting, when you accept it, you get a job. You're working. That's the difference between admit and accept. Saying you're broke and working.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up because I haven't heard anyone bring that point to this kind of conversation yet. And I think it's a really powerful one because kind of like what you were saying, whenever some people, and this is a terrible mindset, like the rehab I went to, a lot of people called it like home. They said, I feel like I'm at home here.
My God.
And I was like, this is not good. Like it was my first rehab, hopefully the only one I'll ever go to. But the thing is that it was like, I could tell it was not good because a lot of the guys that were in there were like their second, third, fifth time and stuff. And I was like, why do you keep doing this? And they're like, because I know if I relapse, I have a safe place to go. And I was like, that's not a good mindset because it's keeping you in this cycle. It is not, you're not moving past whatever it is. And it's so frustrating, but it was also really scary too. Because it's also like, I don't want to do that.
That's the difference between admitting and accepting.
Okay.
I have a girl that I sponsor that I call her 41.
Ooh, okay.
Why? Guess why? 41 rehabs.
Damn. Holy cow. What the?
And I just started sponsoring her 5 months ago. And this is what I teach her. I say, you have a mind-powered disease that speaks to you in your voice with authority that tells you you're recovered. You got this. I don't need this. Your mind is warped.
Yeah. Oof.
You are admitting it, but you're not accepting it. And I got to tell you, the lights went on. She said, why don't they teach me this in rehab? I said, because you're a great return product.
Yeah.
They don't want to teach you too much because guess what?
Mm-hmm. Then you get
don't
better.
need them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what it's designed to do. They're designed to fail. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Shoot me now. I don't give a shit. You can't kill me. I'm already dead. So it's great.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. They're designed to keep you sick.
Yep.
They want you to keep coming back. No. We keep coming back to AA, not rehab.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I agree 100%. And a few of the people that I've spoke to that are the more professional doctorate kind of people, they've even said, like, you have to be there for a little bit longer than what they're actually scheduled for before anything actually starts to take place inside the head. It sounds like 41 is hopefully getting some actual.
It's so great. I got to tell you, that's the reason I'm alive, I think.
Yeah.
Because I see the lights go on and I go, thank you. I have a sign in my bathroom that says, God, who would you like me to serve today? And that's how I start my day. I'm like, who do you want me to help today? Who do you want me to be of service to?
Yeah.
Who can I give your word to instead of mine? Mine.
Yeah.
That's that whole cycling. It's like, it's really easy to be a monk. It really is. It's really great to be a Buddhist monk. Oh my God, they don't have to deal with anything. So when I said I took on a new spirit, and I love that spirit, I didn't want to be Hilary anymore because I had all these resentment, anger, fears, all this disappointments in my mind. And when I got high, I didn't think about them. So now that my rescuer, my spirit that rescued me, turned on me, and now you tell me I can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And I have to admit I can't, that it's killing me. I really don't want to die, but I don't know how to live.
Yeah.
And then you put me in an institution, jails, institution. Your next bet, Keegan, is death.
Yep.
If you haven't been to jail yet. I've been to jail. I never went to rehab.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I want to.
No, don't.
I was like the first halfway house mother at the first rehab in 1984.
Okay.
Promises. Yeah, that was the first rehab in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
In the 80s, yeah. I mean, everybody got their outline how to do the rehabs, but big pharma kicked in, so that screwed that whole package up. Don't even start me.
Nope. Not.
Yeah, I'm anti. Yeah, we don't need that. That's the thing. We think if pill will fix it. You need to be on meds. No, you don't, babe. You need to be on some steps and some God. Okay, but so then you take my spirit away. And I'm in this little environment that everybody cushions everybody. Are you okay? What can I do? Oh my God, process it. Let's EMDR. Let's go for a hike. What happens when you say, I don't give a shit. You have to be at work in 2 hours. I don't care. My boss doesn't care that I'm feeling bad. You got to be on time. That my landlord doesn't hear, I'm having a rough month. He says, where's my money?
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to not use the spirit, but how can I go back to my old spirit unless I heal it? And that's what the steps are designed to do.
Yeah.
To uncover, discover, and discard your old, so you can have a new life. The first 6 steps are your old life. 7 through 12 are the new character built without resemblance of the old life.
Ooh, I've never heard it put that way before. That's really interesting. And you're right.
So the 6th step is become entirely ready to have God remove these defects, meaning characteristics. 6th step is stop doing what you're doing. It's not working.
Yeah.
What's the 7th step? Start doing what you're supposed to. And then if you're a thief, there's your character defect, or you're a liar, or you're a cheater, or you're whatever. What's the flip side? I tell the truth.
And you give.
I don't cheat. I show up. Now, 7 through 12, I start building a new character. And then that character gets stronger and stronger. And by the 12th step, I get to show you guys, look at this new character I am. Let me help you go through the steps. Let me show you how to have a new life, have a new experience, how to be happy, joyous, and free.
Yeah. And
those are the steps.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's crazy because I think one of the things a lot of people still have to deal with, and probably myself included, is depending on the childhood wounds, of course, of the person, is I'm still looking for acceptance of some sorts. And it's like, you still have to find that acceptance within yourself, right?
Well, I don't know. You're not, it's like a lot of us do the first 3 steps, or we think we do. We go we do 2-step, 1, and then we do 12. We go and I'm Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm going to go find so many people to heal and fix, right? But if I don't grow through the process of letting go of this old character, this hurt, all my old ideas, my old principles, which are truths that I live by, like that principle that only good girls get married. Only smart guys make money. Only college graduates can make a living. But these are principles.
Yeah.
I live by this. I think, I guess I'm never going to get married. Girls who are promiscuous never find nice guys. I believe that. So I would choose all guys because my truth is I'm not good enough. Yeah. So until I uncover all this stuff, how can I have another life? And how can I help somebody if I have never really changed?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you bring up a really good point, because one of the people I've spoken with in the past, they were like talking about how they were a person, but they also don't believe that they really are, and that kind of sense, it's like, but whenever we're in addiction, like we do things, we are a person, and it's hard to reconcile that. It's like, I don't want to be that person though. And that's the important part, is like, do you want to be, or do you not want to be?
Well, here's the thing, is even not drinking and using, you're still a person.
Yeah.
You're just not drinking. You haven't turned your character defect into an asset. That's what the 7th step does. You're no longer, what's the other side of the coin? You're a good person. And I don't want to be a good person if I haven't really looked at my character. I got to not want it. I got to ask God. I got to beg God, help me. Change me, please.
Yep.
I don't like this woman anymore. Show me who I am so I can do something different. But if you do, 1, 2, 3, go help somebody, I always say you're feeding them the disease. You're not feeding them solutions.
Yeah.
You're not sharing the message. You're sharing your mess with them.
Ooh, yeah. That reminds me of something that Colonel Lewis at the rehab would always say. He would say that misery doesn't just want company, it requires company. And
yes.
Yeah. First time I heard that, it blew my mind. I was like, oh, he's so right. It does require company. You can't be miserable if you're alone. I mean, you can, but if you're around other people, you'll drag them down with you, which is why it's so,
100%.
yeah. Then that's why I had to tell some people, like, I know you want to go and help your friends that are still in the shit or whatever, but it's easier to drag you down than you pull them up.
Back in the day, they used to do 12-step calls. And I remember in the 80s, we used to go, they would call central office and they would say, I need someone to help me. And they would always send 2 to 3 people.
Ooh, that's smart.
Because when you only went with one, they usually got loaded with them.
Yeah. I didn't even know about that.
They always sent 2 to 3 people. You never went to an AA. And now we go in and we're like, my friend's getting high. What's he getting high? Fentanyl. I'm going to go help him. dude, stay away.
Yeah.
You know, they will drag. It's like quicksand. You're putting your hand out, they're going to pull you in, baby. Hold on.
Yeah, it's scary. It really is. And I mean, I just realized the time. We're almost at this end of this episode.
sorry.
So no, you're fine. I just wanted to get your website out there for people because I noticed that you had two. One for like your website in general, and then another one for scheduling a call if they are looking for your help, right?
Yes. You can go to my website, Hilary Momberger, or you can always go on https://meetwithhilary.coach/ and you can set up, I can guide you. I could get you to play, whatever. If you want to talk, if you.
Yeah.
I'm just here to be, help, be a service, whatever.
Yeah.
I do coaching. I do private coaching. I don't do it like normal, because I'm a transformational mentor. I got a lot of wisdom, I've got lots of years. I don't want to be your guru. I don't want to be your God. I want to guide you to your God. I want to guide you to your health so you can start practicing self-love and the steps so you can help someone else. So I like pushing you there so you can go. I don't want to don't hold on to me. Hold on to God. Dude, I don't want that much. Hell no. I don't want that much. I got to keep my ego down, not up.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things that it's hard to do this kind of walk, but I'm so glad that we have people like you that are helping people find their walk in recovery because it's hard. And I'll be the first to admit it is, especially at first, like going into recovery.
Dude, hold
is
on.
hard. Yeah.
Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, it's scary, it's hard, it is painful, but the end results are so worth it. And one of the things that I had someone ask me before was like, what would you go and tell yourself back in the past or whatever? And it was like, sorry you have to go through this, but there's nothing I can tell you that's going to make you avoid any of it. I had to learn by touching the hot stove, so
we are those kids.
Yeah.
But man, the great thing is when we learn to not touch it, we are unstoppable. I always say, stay thirsty for God and sobriety, or you're going to get thirsty for that drink.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good way to put that. And I don't know about you, but water is now my new favorite. And
oh yeah, right.
But I mean, I also did do that little thing of like, oh, I got out of rehab. I'm free from alcohol, but I could chug some Red Bulls. Holy
my God, right? That's what did they say? Changing seats in the Titanic to get a better view of the iceberg. Oh my God. Food, chocolate, sex, shopping, gambling, you name it, whatever.
Yeah, your ism will just hop and it's like a bad flea. It'll just find its next host.
Hello, ism, not wasm.
Yep. But before we end this, do you have anything that you want to let the audience know for like just what can they do for themselves along their either sobriety journey, recovery journey, healing, whatever it may be that they're trying to get out of the dark from?
God, there's so many things. I would say, I want you to know that you're not what you've done.
Ooh.
Those were just reactions of what's going on inside. I want someone else to heal me and fix me, but it's really my job. And the greatest thing is I got to go inside to heal myself. What is also inside of me is God. God's not out there. It's not in a church or a mosque. God's right in here. That's my inner source that we talk about. Have that conversation. Say things like, God, I don't know who you are, what you are, but can you please help me? That's the greatest prayer ever said, is help me. So I suggest pray to something other than you. Not the dude, not the money, not that. Sit in that quiet moment and say, God, please help me, and watch magic happen.
Ooh, That's some powerful stuff. And I wish I had heard that a long time ago. I hope everyone out there has gotten just as much out of it. And do you think that we could see you on in the future at some point, Hilary?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, bring me back.
Awesome.
I'd love to talk again. That would be great. I mean, give me questions.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love feeling as if I'm adding to the world instead of taking from it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And these kind of conversations are what's going to help people through whatever journey they may be going through, and maybe being inspiring enough to help someone take that scary plunge into the dark depths. So with that being said, thank you for listening to Guidance in Recovery on WDJY 99.1 FM. And as always, try to love yourself, love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first. Try to be your favorite version of yourself today. And if you need help, text 741-741 if you're having a mental health crisis, or you can dial 988 if you need to get on the phone. Much love. Shalom.
Bye.